anybody lurking. I'm in my purple shroud. Hope you're doing okay today. Feels like Sunday to me. I did a behavioral test. Nobody knew I did it. So I thought I'd video a little bit about it and go on my day. But wait a minute here, we need this as the topic. Happy or unhappy? Move it. This here phone is on a box of oral solution that you use for your stomach, dudes. When I looked at it, I thought, that is funny. Okay, in fact, I want to get one of these out and see what it looks like. Well, that's different. They changed it. Well, we'll put it this way, they changed the packaging. There is nothing worse that I hate. I hate change. I'm not talking about your nickels and dimes, dummy. I am talking about change. But it's the only thing that stays the same. Like that back there. See that back there in the wall? It's the only thing that doesn't change. Oh, by the way, this is still a trend. This is still a Bible. I'm a weirdo. I've lost my purple glasses. Yeah. Okay, back when whoops. February 2020. Mrs. Munchausen here's genetic test came back. And I'm thinking, the reason I thought about that, I'll put anything on this: OCD, ADHD, PTSD, bipolar mom. Here. If it's on my mind, it's coming out. This is sort of hot. It's a little bit. All right, let me confess. I use this. I wear it as a part of my blankets in the bed. All right, just confess. Just tell the truth. If I don't use it for that, I'm using it for a pillow, man. In reality, such a weirdo right now. Weirdo. It's a little bit hot. Moaning and groaning with these bones. Oh. See? Move your body around. It's ow. Oh. Oh, how do you young again? Maybe that won't be so hot. Visiting dog is on the chair. Son, you got in there? Okay. Testing all things here. I was just asking you, it's too silent for a game to be played. I'm not really sure what game is. What's up? I said it's quiet in there for a game to be played.
Oh, I wouldn't play again.
This little thing is on. You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, this is on. I always say that. What are you up to in there too? Passing family members, sitting dog. Had her collar get off her, Scotty. Her collar.
I took it off her. I tried to take it off her. Good. I tried to take it off her for the nights. Put it back on today.
Oh, little thing. Later, dude. What is that name of that game again? Huh? Mount what? Oh, blade, like a sword. Mount Blade or Mountain Blade or one of these. Mountain Blade. All right, back in the day when I used to get this was never prescribed to me. I don't know about the next until the diagnosis. Not just because you have a stomach problem. Can it be used for that? Yes. I videoed years ago to a girl named Lisa Kostica, the Jonathan Tuttle, the Suzy Q people. Problem she was having. I told her about this. Wasn't that a waste of time? Where's she now? Don't forget. People walk away. All right. She was the person that I went live with, on your little Facebook phone thing. After the first stimulus checks, she assumed she'd get another one. I gave her free access to my library and my own music. Shouldn't have done that either. She was still married, and the man she was living with, she was lying about it to gain financial gain in New Jersey, in your American system. Do we need to pull those logs? I'm blunt. Gets me in trouble a lot. Who are you, man? Another visiting family member. I think it's funny. Say hello.
How y'all doing out there?
Passing sons, passing husbands, passing out. Let me regroup. There's no telling what I said prior to this. I forgot. Son comes passing through. I don't know. What was in his hands? I have no idea. Passing son. Playing Mount Blade. Passing husbands. And me, I'm still sitting in a trailer chair. This is You'll never get this kind of video with all the monetization artwork stuff. You're like, my kind of channel will be so archaic. to YouTube, it'll probably forget who I am. Oh, honey. My sinuses are killing me. Huh? I heard you. Oh, yeah. You cannot get away from these suckers. That don't mean I want to hear it. Let me get some nose spray here. I'm a bag lady. There's nothing wrong with these things. I'm probably going to wind up being one of those women that move shopping carts around. You've seen them. And it's not because you're homeless. It's because you refuse to let go. You must hold on. Because then you'll feel like you need everything. You've got everything. And women with large purses and stuff. Don't be. I have heard people cut them down in the last week. When you need something, you're the one asking them for it, man. And they'll have it. I wish I had something right here. So, at this event, shit, wait, I gotta find one. You be sitting there with your family and friends, whatever it is. And you be like, you know what? There's no salt. And I really would like some. Well, I'll go ask some for some, honey. And they say, no, don't worry about that, right? I'm the one that's packing with it. Yeah, you want the salt, but I got it. Lots. In the bag. I'm like that hat of Frosty. Just all of a sudden you dig in there and all kinds of trash comes. Bag lady syndrome. Anyway, I did. There was a time not that long ago that I was on, like you would call on Facebook. People call it FaceTime. If you can see their face, it's FaceTime. I don't care what kind of computer system you're using. I'm just not that. Let's explain what FaceTime is. If you can click your phone on and the two of you are seeing each other, you have FaceTime. I don't care what product it is. That's me, Mrs. Willis Blunt here. By the way, Emily Blunt's my favorite actress now, not Jessica Lange. Moving along. Okay, Yeah, people get hung up on this. Android, iPhone, iPad. If you can turn the camera on, once again, and I believe the first, I might be mistaken there, but one of your first known was Skype. We still exist. I FaceTime with them. Well, I'd done that with Lisa Costiga. And it was about this later on. Yeah, but I remember that relationship of unhappiness and happiness. She would send me pictures of her apartment where the police were sitting outside. And she'd send me videos of people calling her overweight in her bathroom. What weird days those were, not that long ago. You wonder where these people are. They might still be there. I don't know. But I get Costiga my entire library from movies purchased. Only demons do this. She was having some issues, and this is what I explained to her. Now, the packages are different now. I don't even know what in the world, if you took this stuff, how many you're supposed to take in this box. It's not laid out right. The box laid flat. I was supposed to ingest all of them. I'm assuming the same goes here. Then when they began to hurt my stomach, oh, vexing. My doctor said pull back a little bit, and I think I went almost 2 years without this being written to me. So I got the gastro system on my mind today, because it's right in front of me on this box. And they must be out their mind, including myself, of course, if they ever think for 1 second I know that that down there will be ingested. My doctor was here. She left too late. And I guarantee, when I speak to her in February, by the FaceTime type of deal, the telephonic situation, she's going to wrap a bean when she sees that they wrote this for me. Well, this is Miralax ramped up to the level of OD. This is something only she knew in an endoscopy and colonoscopy not to give me. They just wrote it. I picked it up and I thought, well, it might make some good deeds to get this out of here, fix it and use it as a jug. This is something she's never, ever, Dr. James Soames never, ever. So when you receive the new physicians or new step-ins or new NPs and stuff, there's nothing you can do about it. I remember this day going to the physician, and they actually, I think, was at the Watkins building at first. And man, could they type. And I came early by accident, or rather just to make sure the car could get there. And they actually took me early, which is almost a phenomenal event. You don't get in there. You're not even supposed to sign in for 15 minutes there. They were actually happy I came early so they could go home. It's exactly what they said. Today was the day of studying human behavior, of being happy, noticeably unhappy, or noticeably happy in the moment. I did my own clinical trial. I wanted to see. Didn't matter whom it was. If I knew them, acquaintance, stranger, I did it anyway. And the overall answer is, people are unhappy. Overall, content is different. You got the happiness realm, you've got the contention realm, and then you'll have the eternal realm. Entire study today, people were really unhappy. Yeah. I carried this phone around on every study of it thinking, that's why laughter's the best medicine in this book that I read down here, I reckon. Because when you're laughing, it changes the brain stems. The actual entire brain changes. Wow. I do remember this trash. And I picked it up and I thought, oh my gosh. Because when the virus came in December of 2019, what a phenomenal physician they are. They know more about things that you and I wouldn't dream about beyond a gastro issue. I remember my immunologist, Dr. LeBlanc, looking at my chart intently. He cared. It's also another thing that's down, is human caring. The natural instinct to care for people. It's very low. It's you sort of begin to care about yourself if others care about you. You don't care about yourself without validation from others. The natural order now is this: I have certain people equal happy equals my life. Not I'm an individual person equals people can stay or say hey or walk away equals happy. Is almost reversed. I asked Scotty about it right then. He's right. He's like, no. Comparing yourself to other people, I guarantee you'll probably not feel so good about yourself. And that is a tactic used, like I made fun of the other day on this platform, to make people see what they want you to see and hopefully drag you under the coal. It'll make you feel less significant, less of this. I'm letting you know right now, if somebody has a convo with Scott or has an issue with the kid or something, and they talk it out or do not talk it out, Scotty's not worrying around begging for you to be his buddy. He moves on. You don't stick around and dwell on, oh, that didn't work out. No, it's just move along. His personality. We took, a bunch of us, about 6 of us, took this personality exam. Only a few differences happened between him and his friend. I was right behind it. Personality tests are interesting. But this was a crap. Let me think about it. It's on video on it right now. In reality, this is not live streaming live time. This is Memorex. When people do that, look in the comment sections of people and they'll say, I'm watching the replay. Really? You're watching Memorex? Remember that old day? This isn't live. This is Memorex. Somebody put up a post. Might have been weird. About kids being outside, how we played tag and red light, green light, and Simon Says, and Mother May I, and hide and seek. You won't find that kind of fun in a boy or girl after they come out of abstract thinking. They think they're an adult when they're like 10 or 12 in this society. You know, they think they're the titles of the know-it-all. Is back talk. The children of today, with their mom and dad nominally paying half their bills. Let me be my own person. Well, there's the door and use it. I mean, the parents today aren't standing up for that kind of restraint. Oh, you think you're grown? Really? Move along. Let's see how grown you really are. Take care. And that just doesn't truly exist today like people pretend it does. They can pretend all they want to. People in their 30s and 40s are still in need of their mom and dad. not loving them. They need them. There is no maturity. In this country, there isn't. They don't get their way. They're like a little baby. If people talk about you, they just chime up and child up, worrying about what people think about them. They're going to think it anyway. Dear Lord. In reality, I just remember somebody coming in there. I didn't know what the heck was going on. To this day, there's another DNA swab of the same issue under Dr. Tiffany Pike Lee, and I don't know where they are. We've never been able to attain the second DNA. Did I do it? You bet. They were even, I think, more thorough. But DNA is DNA. And I didn't know what the fetch was going on. And they done everything backwards. A bone marrow biopsy should be now, not August of 2019. Backwards. But nobody knew anything going on. So I'm like Jimmy Gore. Perhaps you have people that are a rarity that don't. The medical industry just doesn't understand. The only aspect they can go to is, do you have a psychiatrist by the time you take blood test, imaging test? If you visit more than a few doctors, it's totally in your head. And in my case, they become a liar. The Viper Pole become the liar. If you know your body and you know something's wrong, you need to fight. Don't worry what people say. Don't worry about what the doctors say. All they can do is not treat you. And say this person's just a psychopath and blah, blah, blah. You know, you wake up every day and you put makeup on everything on your life and say, guarantee you we're not making it up yet. There's a lot of that going on today. There's not enough genetic testing. You talk about spending that kind of money as opposed to a waste of millions of dollars on certain medications when the root cause will never be cured. You need to find out what is wrong with you. And it may take your life. You may never find it. But when you do, you dwell on it as well and start living out the diagnoses. You do. People don't think that's true. They'll say, well, they'll try to convince their family member, right? Don't you remember that the doctor diagnosed me with this mental disorder? That's got to be the reason. Realistically, that's a bunch of bunk. It's a contributing factor, but it's not the DNA factor. The markers of the DNA would tell us so much in society today. A common test, like the flu, strep, the virus, your immunization shots, DNA testing should be just that much equality. Then you might not have to spend so much money wasted in the deficit we're in medical and science. Perhaps, maybe, probably not, but if we had more DNA testing, more genetics showing, more of whom you are. I've said this before, like take this. You know, just go, it's natural for them to do CMD and BMD and all this kind of garbage. It would be more normal in a society today, as sick as everyone is, with the best scientists, yet the highest sickness. Try a trial and error. Dummies. Can't do this, all right? Imagine finding a cure for this. How much would they be out of money? There's a cure out there and I don't know it. The thing about boys, the high-end cancer. Imagine being able to pinpoint. It's not a diagnosis. You have that. You say, this is how we treat it, and suddenly you're treatable, not just testable. You can be durable and endure if more genetic testing was done. And I think it's even this simple, but so never going to be. Where you take something like this for hereditary alpha-tryptopenia, Sjogren's, the whole nine. The whole reason they DNA me in the first place. All right? Before you take it, or a slew of new meds, DNA testing needs to be done. Then take them. I say them, plural. Then test your genetics again. I've said that before about the I still believe that. I believe that should have been done. And then people with residual adverse things in their life today is from, because not everybody's genetic markers accepted this the same way, ever. But wouldn't it, they kept up with all of our deaths on social media's wasted space? The most detrimental thing known to man, social media. They've done that with all the fear. What's so wrong with saying, well, this is the DNA structure genetically here, okay, we do this, we wait, we do this, and then we do a third, and then you retest the DNA and see if anything, and everybody's supposed to take a flu shot every year, but then yearly, after you took it, or whatever you take, you do a yearly genetic DNA structure to see if it's the same. That is deep thinking of the mind, and not out of crazy. It is so brilliant to think that way, yet you'll never have it. But it is brilliant thinking on us all being sick, like we are. In 2024, worst known to man, maybe things will improve. I doubt it. I was thinking about that because my phone's sitting on top of it. This was never administered. So many things were administered after, though. Your DNA test comes back with reality facts that all you can do is treat like a fool. But you know that you're born with something, rather than going and saying, I believe you have probability theory. We think this is it. Take this. When you have the facts, you get to decide factually. You do. They can throw out any book they want at you. Don't forget to know you. Know who you are. Know how you feel. There's nothing wrong with getting in tune. It may sound weird to some people, but know your body. Let's say your child takes up band and they choose the trumpet or the trombone, and something doesn't sound appropriate. You think the music teacher's going to say, I don't give fine rep. It's just a little off. It's just a half an interval. We can deal with it in the band. That's the body. You're not a symptom. Your body. If one thing's out of whack, the whole sucker is not in harmonious harmony. Ever. And with that being said, you may be happy or unhappy based on this truth. People can be unhappy because they are sick and frustrated and tearing their hair out because they can't find the answer, the one that they know is inside of them. And we've got folks that don't want to do that, but I'm talking about real hardcore reality here, where people are going around saying, maybe 6 to 8 weeks, you can take that one and we'll see the results then. 6 to 8 weeks? Well, let's just start February 1st, you'll be all the way in what? April? Well, that one didn't work. We'll try again. And you and the family are going nutbag because you're like, No answer, no answer, no answer, and you too and your brain will be like, not again, not again, not again, and that causes mental illness. The inability to find out a true diagnosis of your medical and mental is a problem for you to be unhappy. It's just that simple. The wrong kind of music you listen to will make you, not probably, will make you happy or unhappy. This is why they keep music going for Alzheimer's. And activities like the puzzles used on the phone. Yes. So we can test this computer, not our Mac. Yeah. Or out of whack. You know, there's a little thing about you on. So I was, down, where did I go first? I was a marathon to get a cup of coffee. I waited and I observed at least 4 people. I at least talked to 2 of them. All 4 was unhappy. And then I would wait, come on back to the Pontiac, and wait and see the type of vehicle they drove. Just see if it was like mine, or intermediate, or middle class, or mid-size. And every car, there's absolutely no reason to be unhappy obtaining and owning or leasing or buying that car. None. They were all unhappy. I do these little trial tests all the time. If somebody don't want to do it, they can walk on. I ain't losing no sleep. I want to know why people act the way they do, period. I want to know why we are absolute jackboot factors for stupid people. We're dummies. And I kind of want to know why. And that's what I done. All right, you take a certain age groups, right? If you have the flow chart, you have to do the age continuum. I don't do that. The male or female, you can. You use the adult, a certain age group, the children's group, the teen group, the 20s and 30s to get and pinpoint a clinical trial study that will become factual. Not, well, we have this bell curve because this person behaved that way. You know, if I had to base a brand new bell curve for you today, it'd be flat earth of unhappiness and spike a couple of times. Really, good Lord. And yes, I did. I did my own study. I took all my paper with me and everything. And followed my own instinct. Myself, too. Gas stop for air in the tire at QT. This was a single event, a test of myself, and I was thinking that as I did it. I had no idea they had free air at QT, none. And that back tire's low all the time. And I went over to it, kept trying to turn the car a certain way by the steering so tight it's ridiculous. Who needs a black bar at the gym, right? And I got it a certain way to get back out, to put the gas in. I was able to stretch it like a dummy. I got it there. I'd done it the other day too, last week. I said, there is no air going in this tire. I was frustrated, irritable. I said, if you slur, curse, well, it's not really cursing, swearing, curse is something you place upon somebody. The curse is something you place upon somebody. And the dictionary will tell you otherwise, as they change it, it's cursing is a slang for rude, shrewd behavior, you know, mouthing off like a bunch of dummies. No, you know, you could curse on me. No, they're swearing at you. You can swear at yourself too. And there I was thinking, there ain't no air going in this second. The last time I did it, it was a failure. But really, in actuality, I was a failure. So there I was on my own clinical behavioral trial study being completely and ridiculously unhappy. Yes, I was. And I got the sucker to finally get there, and I went back up to the silver thing. I said, I'm missing something. I'm freezing to death. Air be blowing all over your face. I said, I'm missing something. What is it on this that I'm missing? It was the second time. This was the second time. And I said, maybe that's why I lost my purple glasses. I don't know. I said, I need to be able to see this sucker. I had these in there too, and I'm thinking, no, it was these. And I looked at the crappy air thing, and I said, well, no wonder, Tammy Lim, there's a little button there. You gotta kind of push for activation, and then all of a sudden you hear what you're supposed to hear, the air gauge. Ooh, took care of that devil. But my whole entire identity and mindset had been changed by one event of air in your tire. Those kind of singular events is the reason I'm a jackrabbit every single day of my life. I know it. Where you're like calm and collected. I don't have any crescendo. I'll just go from the absolute docile straight to your crescendo, and the whole dang symphony's over. And I may never recover from it. I just kept pressing on in my stupidity. And that kept me so angry. The entire time, backing the car up, getting on pump. I told them pump number 9, it was really pump 11, dudes. Are you the kind of person out there? Because it's possible, probably not, but it really is factual, that you'll look up, or look in front of you and see the tank number, you're looking right out the sucker. Or as far as the quick trip thingy, you're looking up and the number's up there, right? Are you the kind of individual, okay, that'll stare at that sucker 4 or 5 freaking OCD times, and then once you get in there to pay said money, you've done plumb forgot the number of the tank that you pulled up to. I do it every single time. That's to test memory, too. I have a downloaded thing to test my memory. It just automatically does it. Weird apps. My smartwatch does it, I just don't have it charged. Then I'm thinking, okay, I was frustrated. I was happy to unhappy in an instant pudding once I got the car settled. I promise you, I looked up at that sucker 4 or 5 times and kept saying it out loud. 11, not 11 from Stranger Things. 11, not the omen of 11, because that exists too, like 333 dummy. The 11 thing, don't be deceived. Many people believe in that omen. I myself just believe in the triangular system. Well, if you get right down to it, 1, it's an odd number 2. And so I walk all the way in there, and then I begin to test behavior again. Mine and those I came in contact with. The one that was working was so unhappy when somebody right now would kill just to have that job. But I observed, and I'd be like, you can go right ahead of me. That's the way I do when I'm testing. I carry a clipboard around. What are they going to do, snatch and say, let's go to the psych ward? Phenom, I need that. I need the break. Yeah. Man, you're going to jail today. That's okay. I need a country club. Be nice. Have a country club every now and again, right? No bills to pay. Shoot, man, just live off the garbage. I ain't taking my clipboard away. Nope. The dude working was so unhappy. There was a lady over here at the slush puppy thingies, and my God, that sucker looked good. It's orange. Looked like sherbet ice cream. Slushy thing. And they were so frustrated. I said, are you okay? Just like that. Are you okay? I'm really not. I cannot get the children to do what I want them to do. We're on this trip. I said, you're on a trip? Yeah, we're down here visiting some people. And they were from Vermont. we're down here on this trip. I said, maybe things will get better for you. Everything will be okay. And as she proceeds to pay for her orange slushie, that resonated in my head. There's children that's not doing what she wants them to do. It's frustrating her. Yet at the level of the flow chart of happiness, being on a trip, a thing that needs to 100% ensure some happiness on the planet, no, she was miserable. And so sometimes I ask people questions. If they answer, if they don't, I am not worried about what people think about me. That's beyond my brain. I don't care about that stuff anymore. What a flight. What a beautiful butterfly that is. Quit worrying about what people think about you. Wow. Because when I've done that my whole life, a large chunk of it, what they think now just rolls right off. You're waterproof garbage. And that is growth. That's maturity. In my life, I don't know about another. In mine, that's some serious growth. Yeah. Dude with the gas. I didn't say anything. You could just see it. It kept flip-flopping like the QT does, you know. Just miserable. I walk over to that orange slushy thing, and I take a look back at him. Just unhappy. And I really did screw up. I kept telling him pump 9. It's pump 11. I must have said it to myself I don't know how many times. Needless to say, in my frustration, my flow chart, my bell curve went down studying others. You just remain in the study. No changing your narrative to your own SKU test. Everyone I come in contact with. I come out of QT and there's this large white GMC looking truck. And the gentlemen were from Texas. They were workers. One got out and went in. One just stayed in the truck. They never parked. And I looked directly at them. His hand was on the steering wheel. And I'm like, with a smile and a wave, like, doesn't matter if you don't know nobody. You need to test how people are unhappy because I guarantee it's very large. Those who might say they are, they're having happy moments. Thus far, this test has not been corrupted. Everybody I come in contact with was unhappy. Uh-oh. Crash dummy. This is a ridiculous persnickety sack here. I took pictures of this. And the changes within. It was purple and, unbelievable. And so it might have been one of my lancets and poked myself in error. So what did I do to get to this? I endured pain. Purpose pain. Husband's pouring drinks, singing Bon Jovi.
Big part.
I don't know if I would like that term, beg your pardon. I know that Dolly, isn't Dolly Parton? Who done this? I beg your pardon. Who done that? Jenny Fricky. Is that Jenny Fricky? Oh my gosh. That's Do You Remember thingy.
Yeah, I like doing that.
Jenny Fricky. You really reckon her name was Jenny Fricky because that don't make no dead burn sense.
I want some people don't use that name.
Sylvia didn't.
No.
No, Crystal Gale
Oh,
didn't.
shit, we were Triple Kansas.
Oh, Lord have mercy. On this platform. Rose God. Sorry about that. We had an interruption in internet situations. Let's see, what did I do next? The gas was ridiculous. And then I took the time to, as a place where you can drive and just sort of coast and see individuals in their vehicles. Nobody in their cars, those 5, were even smiling. They were frustrated. They were unhappy. There was a man walking on the road up from where the peak Planet Fitness is when you glide up the hill. And you have to walk down from that, come down to walk across where the Walgreens is. Because I'd flipped around to college and come back. He was an African-American man. He was very skinny. He was homeless. That man was happy. I encourage you to look up a blog on YouTube. I may drop it. This is where God, how are you chosen by God? God doesn't go out and seek a bunch of rich people to do his work. They'll turn away from the riches and move toward God. Yes. Yeah. He'll choose the nomads over those who think they're better. Read it again. Mark is the first gospel. Yeah, the homeless man was happy. It wasn't a sight disorder either. You just have to get your car stopped while the individual's passing, or jaywalking technically. Yet, I'm learning. I'm studying. Weird stuff I do. What of it? It sure did help the DSMs with people like me, didn't it? Any way around it. When people call you stupid, they know you're not. When normally people cut you down by your looks, they're coveting yours. There's something you have they don't, and you need to video it. You need to video what you feel is correct in your life. What they, the quantifiable continuum of humanity, will think what they want to. People, stop being so silly. So the car can, I think they're choosing the Los Carreros restaurant. A lot of cars will park there, but I think they're taking up some of, well, there's a sign that states this on how to park in that area. Nobody's really abiding by that law either. And so you really did have to drive around quite a bit to see. And all I would do is just test those walking. A couple of kids were running and skipping because they haven't faced concrete thinking yet. And they have no idea what's coming on this darkened world. I doubt they'll be skipping when they turn 13. That test will come out and show you the evidence of juvenile detention, the GVs on an all-time high. There really is no test to do that. You just look around and see if the juvenile detention centers are filled with the lack of the parenting restraint. A juvenile just don't wake up and say, today I choose to become a heroin addict. Something going on in the girth of the home somewhere. But if the child doesn't talk about it, or they fear to talk to their parents, that's the democracy you live in. Of course they are. They're wondering what the parent will think. As I teach, don't worry, child, they're going to think it anyway. Quit being disobedient. These children today are disobedient. The children of today are disobedient. The ones who are not have a parenting restraint in place. It is organized. It might be manically organized like I was, but it might feel like a dictatorship to the child. They may feel actually abuse when they're young. In today's society, children are disobedient. The teenagers of today are disobedient. Because everybody's too scared to take that switch and whoop that tail. Afraid to say, belt time. Because, oh no, we can call on you and lock you out from yes. You're not going to test the juvenile detention center rise. So, that's not true. Yes, it is. Metro Center Mall was supposed to turn into a holding prison cell until the female bought it and there was embezzlement on her end and things are going to get better. It's supposed to be a holding cell. Makes sense. To where, say your son goes out joyriding and he's got some ticket or a bench warrant needed to take place, pay or stay. That's what the Metro Center Mall was supposed to be. Children out too late, past curfew. Mississippi has a time for the children to be home. Do they obey it? No. That's why disobedience of children is in both covenants. Children obey your parents. In both covenants. Old Testament, Old Covenant, New Testament, New Covenant. The children of obeying your parents is written in there. Yet, the children of today, it freaking terrifies me. If we took not the people that shelter themselves, the reality of America. When I say sheltering, it's like a Buddha. The child is never seen nor heard, that sort of like. And so you react on the internet like it's another shutdown. Because they've never experienced it, they've never seen it. Do I believe they should? Yes. Yes. So they'll quit taking for granted what they have right under the girth of their home. They're not experiencing it. They don't live it. I'm not telling people going out there. I'm saying a child should experience the opposite spectrum of what they see daily that they think they'll grow up thinking the world's that way. Hell, as adults do, when somebody bothers you on YouTube, you have an aneurysm when it was always there. I'm making a point, I really am. Got a headache in the midst of it. Hey, ibuprofen. I gotta wash my hands. I'm taking that while I wash my hands. I am making a point, but it might not be coming out right. Visiting dog in the chair. Okay. Oh man, this study was funny today. That is my IQ test. Excuse me, to my mouth. Sorry about that. Ordinarily, I just shove them in the back of my throat. I'll put it in the... I gotta get up for a drink. Sick and tired of this, man. The test is still running. You can test this type of deal with an IQ test. I think they really messed up the IQ test. Is that gonna be a dog? Wait a minute, I don't know if you're gonna bark now. Just want to go out there and check out what's out there. I really think that IQ tests are not only obscure, totally ambivalent to the knowledge of the truth. I find IQ tests racist in nature. You'll have someone who grows up with perhaps no family, or maybe an absent parent. You're in that jurisdiction for the school, which is a failed experiment, and hence the whole studies of life. School's a failed experiment. And then you'll have some children maybe coming from a low-income home until, let's just say they move into concrete thinking in the 6th grade. But the child and their children are in this jurisdiction of the failed experiment with the way their demographical boundary is, their personality and the opinion, and how the parenting restraint is raised them, or fed them. And they on the daily get to see a mother perhaps only, a father only, or both of them. And here they go taking these IQ tests, and that's not going to be the same IQ test in another jurisdiction where you're forced, controlled to place your kids in the district of where you live. That is, to me, a little totalitarian. Trump was trying to change that. Then you take, for example, another type of IQ test. This is about being unhappy and happy. Then when I was student taught, under the Clinton arrows, the junior high, you can just see it, folks. Our whole entire world is just filled with bigotry. It's just a bunch of bigots and hypocrites running around, we are. And that is a fact. It's so unfair to our kids of the generation coming. I mean, if I had given an IQ test to the high school of Winfield, some people call it Wingfield, of the Winfield school, when Richard went there, his brother, a whole new scenario, folks. When I student taught there, I was going through metal detectors, checking my body cavity searches by the people of security with an actual badge, not somebody that tries to take care of kids with no badges. And when I place those sarcasm wrinkles in there, I mean them. People on YouTube that try to do this with children that don't belong to them. Something wrong with you, man. Something wrong with you. Take care of your own backyard, because that needs to be mowed a heck of a lot than mine. And you're trying to do things with kids out there, and you're not even friends with David Pilate, so calm down. And if you work for wildlife and fishery, perhaps you can speak. If you're a law enforcement officer, okay, then we might can chat about this truth. But just to be a YouTuber saying, well, these kids over here, I find that exploiting. I do. That's me. I'm never going to stand down to that. Ever. If your 13-year-old daughter's missing right now and it's all over the internet and no permission given, no credentials, no police officers, no nothing, you're just a fool. You would be upset. If you're not, you're a rotten parent. Look, my child's all over the place. Where did we sign? We didn't. Usually there's non-disclosure agreements in 411. And officers, yes, there is. Not always. But if you're just a YouTuber out there, there were so many of them. Too many to count. They were full-fledged exploiting these children. are probably still missing or might never be found. The world gave them permission. That was okay. And you got another pack of wolves coming along trying to pretend that they're any better than that, accomplishing zero. I don't see any of them with the families that found missing children. I was abused, and I find that a little bit of child abuse. I'll do that, TikTok lovers. I'll save that thumbnails. Out there on the internet, putting kids up that don't belong to you. You can't even take care of your own. And if you are, what kind of example are you to them on the tube? Such a Scotty, man. Get real with yourself sometimes, man. This is the reality world you live in. The world's unhappy. People are unhappy. So you see the Hinds County line of our Jackson area. I wanted to test it all, so I went to the 18 Walmart versus the Clinton Walmart. That proves my whole test right there. That was incredible. But if I was to have given an IQ exam with the parents' permission and the school district's permission, not just to do it, to think you're something on YouTube, man. Getting permission from the school district itself, getting permission from the highest authority possible to do an IQ test, speaking to the parents at a PTA meeting or by a phone call, a meeting, a knock on a door, a face-to-face one-on-one of your society that's going in the garbage can. That kind of thing, where you're actually having communication. Not, did they say this about my child? No, man. This world has lost its mind with connection. People think they're connected. They may be, but they're so messed up in the connection, it's insanity. Connection is not correct. No, it's not. And so if I'd given the, some people say Winfield or Wingfield, in that class of high school students, folks, if you look up the school, it's either Winfield or Wingfield, I think it's Winfield, or Winfield. Once I got to the classroom, it was a, yeah, they call me Crazy Joe, now they call me Batman, yeah. It was pretty rough. And you see the behavior of the kids at that high school, man, and you think, where are the parents? And if this is their behavior, what's the parents doing? What's going on in their home, you know? And so the Clinton High School, the 2 IQ tests, they would have been such a failure because the Clinton Arrow School District, everything is more, I don't even know what word to use. It's just, school is a failed experiment. It's going to give some children an ideology when it's a good place. If the school's pretty shoe shine deal, that is how their life will be. It might, but more than likely it will not. And then when something comes up that they're suffering from, they will not know what to do. They won't know what to do. Because parents aren't taking the time to sit them down and say, there is another side to this world and you need to know it. Yeah. And then over there, that's school, folks. They like to take advantage of substitutional teachers or teachers coming in when I taught over there. Of course they do. You're going to lose the audience there. Oh, good, we got a substitute teacher today. You know, kids love that sort of deal. I don't know if that's changed or not. Yeah. Oh, good, we got a substitute teacher today. But when they got in trouble in the classroom, behind the back of where I was teaching off the board and they were sitting there and all that, it was a music class. If they screwed up and needed discipline, you didn't say you had detention. You didn't say you need to go to the principal's office. They put them in a box. They put them in a box. Yeah, it's not when you go over to the box, it's like a telephone booth and you close up the child in darkness. Yes, that is true. Yes, it did. Did I ever, with all the craziness they've done to me, student teaching there, ever put them in the box? You must be out of your mind. The answer is no. I can't even imagine the original teacher. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. That I'm going to student teach for. There is no other teacher there because I had the credential of the National Teachers Exam. You're in there, you're teaching, and you're obtaining points and this sort of thing to gain the educational degree as well. It's like a physician goes and gets points in the hospital. I got to get my clinical hours. It's like clinical hours for education teaching. If I had the social media that I have today, back then, I would have videoed the children running around completely out of their minds and behavior, telling me, because I asked. No one told me that. No other teacher, no principal, assistant principal told me that when I got to that classroom, if a child misbehaved, they needed to go in a box. And they had to stand in there for the duration of the time that the teacher wanted them to. Somebody in my chat, if they're negative, you can go on to your life. I'm not interested in you. Yeah? Okay, whatever. You can type whatever you want to. I don't give a damn. And anyway, this box was stupid. I thought it was, by the end of the student teaching, that classroom was organized. We had a lot of fun. The kids wanted to learn. And that was nice. The Clinton Arrow Junior High, it was the way I am now, just way too stuffy. Just because that's kind of the way I was at Acadiana Christian School. Everybody was a popularity contest, and I'm not saying anything. I think school's a failed experiment. I have multiple people in family and friendship that never went. If they went into the field they graduated from, they're no longer in it. Okay, it's I'm one. I did stay in psychology. I did. I wanted musical therapy. I didn't have to have the degree. I knew I could do the music without the direct degree. You know what I'm saying? If you're a musician, you know what I'm saying. If you, his brother went to Hinds and got the air conditioning and coolant associate, and he owns his own plumbing company still to this day, is my knowledge. That has nothing to do with what he graduated from. The percentage is low. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but people become so unhappy when it comes to school. I'll never stand down to what I'm about to say. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I will. When your children have a snowstorm or a blizzard, or the inability for transportation to occur by a parent, carpooling, busing, and they alert the family, the parenting was hope, but there are two parents in the house. In today's society, dead, burn, ridiculous, man. Can't we at least shoot for that? That when you have a sexual encounter with somebody and you have a baby with them, that you stick around with it? Can we fight for that as Americans? That's stretching the rubber band too much, I guess, because that right there is naturally going to make the child unhappy eventually, somewhere in its life. Eventually, that child is going to feel unhappy. It may come out of it, it may not, but check the juvenile detention centers again. Check the prisons of young children. Check the age of a child that goes wackadoodle from 20 to 30 in a jail cell. All right, I'm talking about nothing I ain't lived yet. Well, I'm thinking they'd burn a box. You know where they got it from? A prop from Halloween. You know how Dracula is in the coffin box? Because it's laid back. They just put a board on the front of it like a coffin. And they got it from a prop of Halloween. That doesn't help a child stay happy. Why is putting a child in a box in high school going to make it absolutely a grand society adult? Stupid. Even in the days of student teaching, I said this is a failed experiment. Every time I went, I studied my ass off to get every single A. A B would destroy me. Dr. C, oh my gosh. The mind of a early college student will either decide to be happy or unhappy. And they will prove it to themselves. They might prove it in society today on social media. They won't tell you the stress they're under to try to be perfect, to maintain the C average of the school loan. Then they have basketball-sized ulcers, they're at the physician, they're sick, they're at the psychiatrist, and there's no one to talk to. There's not enough time to talk to the student counselors. There's not enough time. Because ordinarily, the school and all of its teachers have children too. They have a marriage, a home, they got bills to pay, and the curriculum just keeps on moving. It can't slow down for an individual child. This is why it's a failed experiment. It's a failure. It continues to fail people. And curriculum, let's say there's 30 kids in a classroom, I've seen it before. 30 children will never learn the same way. And one goes to the principal's office, and one is getting suspended because they can't keep up with the ones that are perfect. I've seen it, I worked it, I lived it. But what makes people unhappy? It stems from that dead, burned childhood, man. It stems that there's a law restraint, a God restraint, a parenting restraint, and a conscious restraint. Every 4 restraints are in being happy or unhappy. Good grief. Something in a cuckoo clock to think otherwise. And not just in childhood. Right where you are today, the age you are, you must abide by, wherever you live, their law. No questions asked. If you disagree with it and somebody else is saying you broke the law, thingy, running their flap with it, not even you. That's a failure of social media as well. Nobody's lived your life. They're not living your life. I'm not living theirs and they're not living mine. People try to live other people's lives and they absolutely look stupid. It looks dumb because it is. There's no growth or maturation level of this brain in society today. It just keeps failing you over and over and over and over. And something might come along and give you a little bit of an endorphin hit and you think that's happiness. No, it's not. It can't last. No, you're lying to yourself because it seems like it may have lasted a long time. You think, this is how it's going to be. Well, heads up. No, it won't. In reality, I mean, these people today, a couple of people after, whole gym rides, they were unhappy. When somebody was pushing a buggy at Kroger, I see them all the time. I said, are you doing okay today? I'd be doing better if I wasn't here. I never said that about my jobs. None of them. No, I did not. I'd be happy if I wasn't here, earning my paycheck to keep my bills paid. America is lazy. It's a lazy country and very dim bulb. And the parents just sit back and let every day after day after day, month after month, year after year, trying to pretend their parenting skills are perfect. No, they're not. They won't own it. Boy, in here, I've owned it 1,000 times. I don't need to do it 1,001. Absentee dad, crackerjack shit in his life. He should be your 24-year-old juvenile like his father. He should be the one that goes to a facility of mental like his father. Like myself. Has he? No. Will he beat the pattern? I don't know. I just know that people are unhappy. And they gain a slight happiness on social media. If you put up a picture of something cool, some object that's going to tarnish a year from now, then they feel a little bit more happy. It goes away. How long can you stare at your silver? If you're polishing a nice floor with Murphy's oil, how long can you stare at it? The happy versus unhappy realm is very severe in this country. The majority of the world lies when they tell you they're happy. The little wicked area I hang around with proves it. It proves the caricature, the unrealistic truth of whom they are. They prove it. When I prove it, I'm like, you bet, okay, next. Good Lord. Man, it's kind of sad. I did it deliberately. When was the last place I stopped? I went to get the tire. Oh yeah, I was to go in the Dollar General for cat food. And he went later. I called him. But you could just sit. You can sit there and just look like a lurker. And watch somebody individually. You can watch a person with a couple of people. I saw somebody the other day, they were just fighting and fighting and fighting with each other. In a relationship, man. And that kind of stuff does get to me, it really does. Because people don't know me. They have no idea what I'm like. When I'm in front of somebody that I know, they don't know me. This is YouTube. I'm going to put out there what I believe needs to be put out there. If it matters to them, great. If it don't, okay, good, It's not negative, it's not evil, it's reality. People can't handle their own reality. It's not good enough. People are never satisfied. You must do something else. Oh, I did joke around last night, and what was it? Friday? Yeah, I went scouring our internet system. and checking to see, yeah, we can wash my hands, ain't right? No way, that's right. Good gosh. Stupid. And that's, these machines, man. These machines. Good grief. Stupid. That's ridiculous. I had this wrinkle too. When I was at UMMC one time with Williams ER, I stuck my hand out for them to poke the finger on the diabetic reading. I said, wait a minute, where's the alcohol swab? We don't need alcohol swabs. How dumb are you, fool? We don't need the alcohol swabs. Did I rise up then? Yes, this is when one of my babies died. I said, well, let me explain something to you, ma'am. Are you a diabetic? No, I'm not. I said, well, let's go dip our finger in a pile of syrup and then test my diabetes. And not use an alcohol swab. Illiterate. This country's illiterate almost. Yeah, this is how it rolled. I mean, there ain't no dead burn sense in it. But I'll show this realistic truth. This is what it came up a moment ago. Think I believe in these suckers? No way, man. I go wash my hand because I put this on my hand. This is what went on my hand. I'd already washed my hand and didn't test it. I put this on my hands. I went from this to using an alcohol swab and water to this. It's unbelievable, man. Yeah, it is. But I just want to vlog a little bit about this unhappy happiness world. You can market, stamper it, first class, deliver it. If you have a YouTuber, perhaps any social media site, it really doesn't matter anymore. The world's so far gone in their lies and deception of self, it's never going to be repaired. It will never, ever, ever stop the human mind from being a liar, a self-deceptor, self-hatred of self, mockery of everyone, mockery of yourself. This stuff is never going to stop. Some days might be a refresher of your carpet, and you'll vacuum it and do it again. This world is unhappy, and it's sick. Due to medical and mental, its surroundings, its relationships, people bitch about going to their job, complaining about going to your job that pays you to get what you desire. And you don't want to go to your job. What a weakness of a country. You should be doing something you like and love. If the salary chops 75%, you're happy though. You just live less than. When you've got people on social media to the level of unreasonable, not realistic, unrealistic options to try to tell you how happy they are, they're a liar. They're lying. If you're happy, you do not need to worry about displaying it. The display will come naturally. The people that you're around, the friendships of people you hang around, when you're truly content and happy, you won't have to dig for it and you don't got to worry about saying it or showing something. That is elementary to me. I have this, look, I do not give a flip, just say self-deceived, sucker. Nobody goes around gloating about something if they're happy with it. And what kind of person that does that tells what kind of person they are. If you like your car, and you work on vehicles or something, man, you put a new engine in the sucker, you want to say, hey man, check this out, right? And then you go on with your life. It's really paranoid delusion, if you ask me. The self-deception of, I'm happy, I have this, what the hell are you doing on a box? Why don't you put the pictures up of that beauty, of that joy, this happiness? Lying deceivers. Deceiving you as well. And then people will come together like a bell curve and do the same repetitive behavior like that, and the other person viewing assumes they're happy. They're miserable. They're unhappy, unfulfilled, and they use these boxes to pretend, say, they're happy. No, they're only happy when people are raking somebody across the co. But you've got plenty of people on other social media sites that's showing you their vacay because you're not buying the old photographs and putting them in there. This is the day, and you don't give a fine rip if somebody agrees or disagrees. You love the picture, you love the vacation, you love your outfit, you love your friends, you love God, and you're just putting it up there, sucker. You're not worrying about validation from it. That is an unhappy brain, fooling you that it is happy because they know it. The conscience will bear witness to this truth. But when you're visually just out doing a basic study, so you can write it all down and learn, and call your friends up and say, check this out, how did yours turn out? Yeah, I mean, sure, you do it all the time. I just don't like computers. I don't like them. Oh. She feeds the data in and all that crap in the computer, and I just sit back and say, okay, I don't like computers anymore. I've had I've already had carpal tunnel from the yanner and clacking away. You need to find where the happy clackers are, the content clackers, because nobody can be fully satisfied to begin with. Something will happen, loss, your job, finances, your children, your mortgage, your external health, your mental health, your medical health. The happiness continuum of always is a stale piece of bread molded lie. You have moments of happiness like an EKG. People will only video or expose in these areas I've shown is if that moment appears to the masses of happiness. And you wait on the call for discernment before they are unhappy, don't feel well, depressed. It will come out. You need to be aware of these kind of things. You need to be keeping it on your mind of why this country's failing anyway. So I just want to put that out there and get that on your mind and think about it. And ask yourself, are you happy? If you are, whether you're not, maybe there's some areas that you can improve in. Nobody's business where you need to improve or not improve. They're not your local insurance agency. What you looking for, honey? You okay?
I'm a little tired.
Yeah. I just want to hit this bullet point.
One time, all of a sudden, it's just like that.
That's all right. Anyway, everybody stay warm. Some people are getting these negative, dead burn, ridiculous snowstorms and don't know how to stay warm. So that happened today. I did it today and thought about doing it for a while. And I got to play the piano tomorrow somewhere, so I won't be singing tomorrow. Making some choices. You need to make some choices. You don't have to click the internet and tell everybody what you're doing. You don't. I'm the kind of person that did. It'll just get you in trouble. When you see people that you can never please on a social media site, if everything's going okay and they're not rooting for you to do better, They're not there for you. They're scum. Get them out of your life. They're algae. You can do all kinds of good things.
William.
William. All kinds of positive things. Happy things. Good things.
Oh, my sleep time been off though too.
Yes, it has. I think. Anyway, the mind can do a lot of happy things. And when you do,
Can't use water. They make a lot of water.
I know it. They get really pissed off when they see you happy. They won't say a word about it. They'll gossip about it. But if you're happy and content, and life is simple, and you're not bothering nobody like I did in December, okay, we'll just wait till we can show up and be in our misery and use their misery, and that's all they did. That's all they did. Because there was nothing in December. They had to be watching me the entire time. I don't watch them. They're scum and algae to me. They're a waste of life in my book with their unhappiness. When they have to use you, they are so miserable, people. They're so miserable. Trying to make you think they're happy with these crackerjack lies. Let them stay there. They're going to figure it out. You're going to see it. These people create their own mental narratives. And fool people fall for it, and they care about them, and they realize you are full of shit. When you're a realist, don't let nobody tell you you look bad. Don't let nobody tell you dress bad. Don't let nobody tell you live bad. Let them think they're lucky stars, that they're not you with their perfection. If they even have the ability to do these things. You don't live good, you live like this, you're like that. Guess who they're not with? Their families and their own mentality, their own self-deception. They're on your life, trying to grab any light, anything out of you that they will never have. Okay? People are so displaying the selfie thing we do. It's such a selfish world, and God knows it. God the Father knows how selfish this world is. Okay? There's something wrong with people that claim a life and never identify the life. There's something wrong with them. Huge. If you work a job at McDonald's and you're too scared to tell people you work at McDonald's, you're a dummy. You drive there proud and say, I'm going to my job at McDonald's. I'm getting a check. Or anywhere. Okay, I gotta go bust some tables, folks. I'm taking the bus to J-Tran today, and I'm going to my job. That's happiness. That's contention. The reason the majority of these people don't do it, they're embarrassed of themselves. They're embarrassed of their body dysmorphia, their mental disorders, their medical disorders, their family disorders, so they hide it and use yours. And then call each other and tell the misery to one another. This is so true. The majority of this world doesn't like a realist because we just don't sit around and worry if you like us. If you walk away from us, goodbye. Go on. We're not thinking of you. If you need me to think of you, like I did when I was drinking, I'll be happy to. This kind of very, very scarce mentality of people that really believe that the world is watching them. Just get your community together and fix it to where you don't let nobody in. Then there'll be no drama. There'll be nothing to talk about. They can't even see this reality. They love pain. They love negative. They feed on it. It is their breath. Because their real life is unfulfilled. They are unhappy. It doesn't make any logical sense. I've never tried to say that I was perfectly happy. That's a lie. If something good comes along, I video it. If something bad comes along, I video it. If I can't video it, then there's that. If somebody likes me, that's crazy, man. You walk away from me, goodbye. I won't need you. You'll see in the future you'll need me. I'm a kind woman. I love my real friends. I would give them everything I own just to know I care. YouTube does not know you. They see what you put out. The negative. If they want to stay in the negative, they're going to die in the negative. Because they're not talking about you. They'll be talking about somebody else. And I was scaring the internet last night. I believe it was the F It Up Friday, right? There you go. You got somebody there, strong hard platform, using Gypsy Rose. Savage. Yeah, they're out of content. I don't care if I got 1 lousy view, if I got 0 views, at least I'm realistically authentic. I don't need Gypsy brought to my channel to seem like another strong man's gonna be set up. This girl told Billy John to kill the mother. And they're gonna use this content as some betrayal child of Munchausen and feed off of it 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 because they have nothing. They don't know anything about Gypsy Rose. We live by Louisiana. We know more than they ever will. Ever. And you can see it. They will manifest it. They have to use Gypsy Rose for content. I had a suspicion with my intuition of discernment that one of these people, if not 2 or 3, would do it. There it is. There's your big bad bold user of Gypsy. Gypsy existed prior to being released from prison. The beginning of the Gypsy Rose story. Where were they? Why weren't they covering that with breaking news? How come in the middle of the situation of her imprisonment did they not bring up Goes John? Why wasn't Gypsy brought up then? Because now they're going to use the celebrities around Gypsy to pack them back in with lies, unfulfillment, caricatures that they are, fooling people into whatever they want them to believe. When a person like these people are out of content, they're going to jump on something that's already existed. It's already been covered. Whatever the topic is, whatever the ideology is. If they don't want to talk about the person, they'll figure out a way to talk about something near it. Draw people in deception and self-deception and start playing things that's existed for 10 to 20 years. Let me talk to my kid. You out of here? I am. Take care of yourselves and each other. I'm out of there.
What now?
Are you out of there?
No.